Lentil loaf? That sounds almost as exciting as fruitcake. Hi, I'm Danny, and welcome to my kitchen. Today, I'm bringing lentil loaf to the table. Now, I know what you're thinking. Lentil loaf? That sounds almost as exciting as fruitcake. But hear me out. This is an awesome, hearty, and filling meal that's packed with veggies for those picky eaters. And the best part, it tastes amazing. So let's get started. Here's what you'll need to make the best lentil loaf ever. Start with some chopped onions. Next, a little bit of chopped garlic, about 3 cloves. Then, some chopped celery, grated carrots, 3/4 of a cup of raisins, about 2 cups of cooked lentils, chia seeds, apple, 3/4 of a cup of oat flour, and some fresh rosemary and thyme, or your favorite herb. For seasoning, I recommend a little bit of sea salt, a little bit of black pepper, and I'll be cooking with a little bit of olive oil. A great thing about this recipe is that you don't need any fancy equipment to make it. Here's what you'll need: a cutting board, a knife, a vegetable peeler, a box grater, a loaf pan, a mixing bowl and wooden spoon, and a skillet. The first thing we're gonna do is saute our onions and garlic in a little bit of olive oil. I've heated the pan to about medium-high heat. And I'm gonna add just about a tablespoon of olive oil. Let that heat up. Give that a nice swirl around the pan. And in goes our chopped garlic. And our diced onions. Good. Give those a nice swirl. And we'll leave those to cook for about 5 minutes. While my onions and garlic are cooking, I'm gonna prepare my apple. All I'm gonna do is peel the skin off the apple and then grate it. I like to start my peeler in the middle of the apple and go all the way around in a big circle, and then get the spots at the top and the bottom that I missed. And the apple is gonna give this a nice sweetness and also a variation on texture for our loaf. Now that our apple is peeled, I'm gonna grate it with our box grater. This way, we won't have big chunks of apple in our lentil loaf, but it'll be spread all throughout. I love using a sweet apple in savory ways. I think it really is gonna complement the nice rosemary and thyme that we're gonna use. Now, we're gonna add the apple, celery, carrots, and raisins to our onion and garlic in the skillet. I added the shredded apple. Now I'm adding our diced celery and our shredded carrot. Look at those gorgeous colors. This is a bright and refreshing recipe. Whenever I think something is missing from a recipe, I always look at the colors. What different colors can I add to it? And let that all cook together for about another 5 minutes. I'm also gonna add my raisins. Heating the raisins are gonna make them nice, juicy, and plump. If you don't like raisins, you can add any dried fruit that you like. They just add a nice sweetness and a little bit of texture in our loaf. And spread those all around. While our mixture is cooking, I'm gonna make a chia egg. What is a chia egg, you may ask? Well, sometimes I like to use it in place of real eggs. I'll show you how to do it. I'm gonna take about a tablespoon of chia seeds and combine it with about 3 tablespoons of water. Now the cool thing about chia seeds is that when they mix with water, they absorb up to 10 times their own weight in water, causing them to get really gelatinous and act as a binding agent, just like an egg. So if you have an egg allergy, or you're just trying not to eat eggs, this is a great trick to use. So I'm just gonna pour my chia seeds right into the water and give it a little mix with a fork. Then I'm just gonna let the chia seeds and the water mixture sit together on the counter to let it get really gelatinous, just like an egg. While our chia egg is sitting, I'm gonna get together our herbs and spices. So I have some fresh thyme and rosemary here. I'm just gonna take it off the stem. And this is just a couple of fresh sprigs. And with the thyme, I just hold my finger here and slide the other hand down to get all of those leaves off the stem. Once I have my herbs off the stem, I'm gonna give them a rough chop with my knife. Once my fresh herbs are chopped, I'm gonna add them into our vegetable mixture. Sprinkle that all around and then mix it all right in. And you'll notice your house is starting to get so fragrant. It smells just like Thanksgiving in here. So here's my big bowl. I'm gonna add my cooked lentils right into the bowl. And I'm using green lentils. Just use whatever you have. Next, I'm gonna add our oat flour. And that's gonna also help to bind the whole loaf together. You can use whatever flour you like. Now that our veggies are cooked, I'm gonna combine everything together in one big bowl. You can see how bright and colorful everything looks together. Now I'm just sliding our fruit and veggie mixture into the bowl. Now I'm gonna add our chia egg in. And it looks a little bit clumpy, but that's okay. When we mix everything together, it'll even out. And when you mix it, you'll start to see that it's almost gonna look like a real meatloaf. I'm gonna season with just a little bit of salt and pepper. Let's take a taste to make sure it tastes exactly how we want it before it goes into the oven. Flavor is amazing. The rosemary and thyme come through just enough. The garlic is not overpowering at all. Really delicious. Let's pour it into our loaf pan. Alright, now that all of our ingredients are in the loaf pan, it's time to bake it. I preheated my oven to 350 degrees and we're gonna bake it for about 40 minutes. After 40 minutes, check on the loaf to see how it's doing. Oh, it smells amazing. So the top has browned really nicely and the edges look nice and crispy. That's exactly what you want. I'm gonna take a knife and insert it right into the center. And if the knife comes out clean, I think we're done. Thank you so much for hanging out with me today to make this awesome lentil loaf. See, it wasn't that intimidating. Something I like to keep in mind is that food is only healthy if you eat it. And you're not gonna eat it if it doesn't taste good. So make your food taste good. Today, I made over meatloaf by giving it a healthy twist. What should we make over next? Let me know in the comments section. I'm Danny, and thanks for hanging out in my kitchen. See you next time.